Elle never expected my own son to smile at me on Mother's Day and ask, Mom, do you like the 5,000 Clara gives you? As if I was some charity case, as if I didn't raise him with everything I had even when I had nothing. My name is Helen, and for most of my life I worked double shifts at a small town diner. I raised my son Adrian alone after his father left us, when Adrian was 6. Even when I was exhausted, I made sure he always had hot food, a clean uniform, and a birthday cake, no matter how broke we were. Adrian grew into a brilliant young man. Top grades, a scholarship, and then a startup that exploded into success. Within 7 years, he became a millionaire at 29. Everyone in town said, I must be so proud. And I was. But there was something they didn't know. His wife, Clara. Clara never liked me. From the moment Adrian introduced her, I felt her eyes scanning me, judging the cheap shoes, the tired face, the hands rough from years on a grill. She married into wealth, and the only thing that didn't fit her new lifestyle was me. At first, I tried to be patient. I would bring homemade pies, and she would say, Helen, we don't eat too much sugar. I would buy Adrian a sweater, and she would whisper, he prefers luxury brands now. Every visit felt like I was an intruder in my own son's life. But I still smiled, because I believed one day Adrian would see how she treated me, and he would stand beside me like he always used to when he was little. Except that day never came. It began 3 months before Mother's Day. I got a small envelope in the mail. Inside was a check for 5,000. There was no note. The signature was Clara's. I stared at it, not knowing whether to feel grateful or insulted. When I called Adrian to ask about it, he said, Mom, Clara thought you could use some help. I felt something break inside me. Help. As if I hadn't spent my whole life helping him. As if my worth was equal to the number on that paper. I tried explaining. Adrian, I don't need Clara's money. He sighed the way someone sighs at a child who doesn't understand. Mom, it's not a big deal. But it was. Because every month another envelope arrived. Always 5,000. Always signed by Clara. As if I was on her payroll. As if she needed to remind me where I stood. The worst part, Adrian didn't see anything wrong with it. Little things piled up. At his birthday dinner, Clara handed me a separate envelope while everyone watched. She said, This is for your expenses. I whispered, Clara, please not here. She smiled. You shouldn't be ashamed of receiving help. The humiliation stung like fire. People's eyes lingered on me. Pity mixed with curiosity. I felt small. So small, I barely recognized myself. I stopped visiting them for a while. But Adrian kept inviting me. Mom, come next Sunday. Mom, Clara made reservations. Mom, are you okay? And I didn't want him to worry. So I went again. Even though I knew it would hurt. Then Mother's Day arrived. And with it the moment that changed everything. The moment that built the fire inside me. They invited me to their mansion. Clara greeted me at the door, wearing a perfect smile. Happy Mother's Day, Helen. Her voice felt cold. Almost practiced. Adrian hugged me tightly. I tried to hold on a little longer. Because I had missed him. We sat for lunch. The table looked like a magazine photo. Flowers, candles, golden cutlery. But I still felt like I didn't belong. Clara kept talking about her new jewelry. Adrian kept talking about investments. And I sat there remembering how different he used to be. How he once saved coins in a jar to buy me a Mother's Day gift. A little plastic necklace that I still kept in a small box. Then, between bites, Adrian looked up and smiled. A warm, proud smile. Then he asked the question that turned my heart to ice. Mom, do you like the 5,000 Clara gives you? My fork slipped from my hand. Clara looked pleased. Like she was waiting for my reaction. The room felt silent. The candles flickered. My chest tightened. I said softly, Adrian, do you think I need her money? He laughed. Mom, it helps you right. Clara added, you should be grateful for the support. Support? That word again. I felt my dignity tear apart. Years of sacrifice, years of love reduced to a monthly payment approval from my son's wife. I excused myself and went to the bathroom. I locked the door and cried. Not because of the money, but because my son didn't see the insult. He didn't understand what it meant for a mother to be treated like a burden. But when I wiped my tears, I looked in the mirror, and something inside me shifted. I decided I would not remain the quiet mother who just accepted humiliation. If they thought I was weak, they were about to learn who I really was. I spent the next 2 weeks planning. Not revenge in the cruel sense, but a lesson, a reminder, a truth they could not ignore. I had something they both forgot. Proof of how much I had sacrificed. Proof of what Adrian truly came from. I gathered old photos, reports, school awards, and letters he wrote me as a child. Letters where he said, "Mom, when I grow up, I'll buy you a big house. Mom, I'll take care of you forever. Mom, you're my hero." I also gathered something Clara didn't know. Before Adrian became a millionaire, he owed me. I had borrowed from friends and taken loans to support his first startup. I never told him, because I didn't want him to feel guilty. But I kept every receipt, every bank slip, every document. They added up to nearly 38,000. All given silently. All repaid in tears, not money. I invited them both to my house. A small home, but filled with memories, warmth, and honesty. Clara hesitated when she entered. Maybe the simplicity made her uncomfortable. We sat in the living room. I placed a box on the table. Adrian asked, "Mom, what is all this?" I looked at him, my voice calm but strong. "This is what I gave you long before Clara gave me 5,000. I opened the box. Photos spilled out. Certificates, birthday cards. His old drawing of us holding hands. The little plastic necklace he once gave me. And under them, the stack of receipts. Adrian stared, confused, silent. I told him everything. Every loan. Every night I skipped dinner so he could eat. Every hard moment I hid so he could dream bigger. I said, "I never told you because I wanted you to grow without guilt. But I will not let Clara turn my love into a transaction. I never needed her money. I only needed respect." Clara looked pale, her voice thin. "I was just trying to help." I looked at her. Help doesn't shame someone. Help doesn't come with an audience. Help doesn't replace gratitude with control. Adrian looked at the receipts again, then at me. His voice cracked. "Mom, why didn't you tell me?" I whispered. "Because I loved you more than I loved comfort." He stood there breathing hard. Then he said something I will never forget. "Mom, I'm so sorry. I let Clara treat you like this. I let myself forget what you sacrificed." Clara tried to speak. Adrian raised his hand. "Enough. You humiliated my mother. And I let it happen. But no more." Clara's face tightened. She said, "Adrian, you're choosing her over me." He answered, "I'm choosing respect. If you can't give that to my mother, then you can't stay in my life." Clara stormed out, slamming the door. Adrian sat beside me and cried, like he did when he was little, his head on my shoulder, whispering, "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry." A week later, Adrian came to me with a proposal. "Mom, I want you to move in with me." I smiled gently. "No. You have your life, and I have mine. But from now on, visit me as my son, not as someone who thinks I need charity." He nodded, understanding fully. For the first time in years, we were mother and son again. Not millionaire and burden. Not husband and wife's mother. Just us. Pure and simple. Then he handed me something. A necklace. Not plastic. Not expensive. Just a small silver heart. He said, "Mom, thank you for reminding me who I really am." And I whispered to myself, on Mother's Day, my millionaire son finally learned that a mother's value is priceless.